Hi guys, welcome back to the Social Tune. And recently, I reached 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Now look, thank you all so much. This is a huge milestone for me, and considering just how quickly I got here compared to how long it took me to get to 500 subs, that's a huge deal. However, while I could just set up another Q&A video, I think I'm gonna leave that for the next one when more time has passed for all of us. Instead, I want to do something special for you guys, something different. So let's talk about Chris Brown.
I woke up in Chris Brown's body. So how this shit turned into Freaky Friday.
Yes, Lord knows I haven't talked about this guy enough. I have thrashed him repeatedly on this show. Heck, I even talked about him recently in my last track review. But like it or not, he has been a hugely successful artist with a ton of hits. So today, let's be nice for a change and count down the top 10 best songs from my longtime enemy, Chris Brown. Yeah, I know, considering how many times I have slammed this guy on this channel, you would rightfully expect me to want to make a worst songs video. But look, I'm celebrating a milestone here, and I want to remain positive. I also want to show that, despite how much I may hate an artist, I can still appreciate them at their best. So yeah, for one video, and one video only, I'm calling a truce. No sirens, no swearing, no bullying, or at the very least I'll try. Here we go, Chris. These are your top 10 best songs in my opinion. And believe it or not, we do actually have some honorable mentions to go through first.
What I feel when I'm with you, with you, with you, with you, with you, girl. With you, with you, with you, with you, with you.
You know, I kind of preferred this song when Sixpence None the Richer made it 9 years previously. Still, despite that, and the fact that there will always be a part of me that will cringe whenever I hear the word boo, I'm not going to deny that this is one of Chris Brown's best produced and sweetest songs. Yeah, it's cheesy and not the best written track. Him comparing her to Jordan's is just a bit of a stretch. But hey, love makes you say silly things, and either way, it's still a very enjoyable track. There's a part of me that really loves this song. I love duets between male and female vocalists, and Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks have a surprising amount of chemistry. I just wish the production didn't sound so dated, especially with those drums. It's still pretty though, especially with the watery filter surrounding the pianos. And as a song about two lovers separated but still missing each other, it's really a potent track. In my opinion, it's definitely a high point in both artists' careers. And speaking of surprisingly good collaborations,
You said you came for love in the club, 'cause I wanna tell them they wrong. Come on, just baby, try a new thing, and let's spark a new flame.
if I were to pick my favorite album by Chris Brown, it would probably be X, and yes, that will no doubt be reflected in this video. And yeah, this has always been a really good track, especially with Usher's phenomenal vocal performance and even Rick Ross delivering a pretty good guest verse. Really, the only reason this isn't on the list is that Chris Brown himself kind of fades into the background. He just doesn't stand out as much. Still a damn good song though.
You be talking like you like what I got. Give me that. I know you like it how I lead and I like you could be in the back saying give me, give me, give me.
Let me be absolutely clear. The reason that this song is so good is because of the fantastic production, especially with those strings playing off of each other. I mean, Lil Wayne is a pretty good hype man here, but he's certainly done better. And I'm sorry, I cannot get over Chris Brown's lisp here, especially when he's asking a woman 3 years his senior to give him that. It's basically just a censored, better produced version of the 2005 hit Gimme That Pussy. Still, when the confidence and the production are this good, I'm willing to overlook a lot. So yeah, I like this.
It seems that all the autumn leaves are falling. I feel like you're the only reason for it.
Oh, surprise, surprise, one of my favorite Chris Brown songs features Kendrick. But hey, despite the blocky production, the bass guitar is definitely welcome, and despite the auto-tune, Chris Brown actually does a pretty good job at lamenting here. However, yeah, Kendrick is easily the highlight. He starts off a little bit bland, but the intensity and the wordplay just keeps building as the track goes on, until I find myself that I was just listening to his music instead. Still counts though.
Night is the last night.
46 tracks from Chris Brown's album last year, this is easily the one that stuck with me the most, even though it really is just a rather generic EDM track. I don't quite know why, but Chris Brown's voice just seems to work very well in a festival setting, as you will see plenty of dance songs on this list. Plus, you gotta love his shout out to all of our favorite childhood pastime. Top-notch content. Glad you guys subscribed yet? Okay, if I were only limiting myself to Chris Brown songs, this video would be laughably short. I mean, after all, I'm trying to be nice, but I still think he's a very mediocre performer. And yes, some of his best performances have been on other people's songs, so I'm counting them for this list. And at least for me, this one has always been a favorite, which may surprise some of you. After all, this is a song about Chris Brown and Kid Ink being out in the club together with their girlfriends, but still being tempted by other groupies who are present. Well, apart from the incredibly catchy hook, the way that they both have just enough sense to feel guilty, and the way they're trying to turn it into a three-way in their favor is kind of funny to me. It's kind of like an episode of How I Met Your Mother if the characters were far less charismatic and likable. Still a potent track though, and one that I'm rarely not in the mood to listen to. And now, on to the songs that I always enjoy hearing. Okay, I have made no secret about my contempt for this guy in the past, both as a person and as a performer. I mean, remember all of those apologies he released and how insincere every single one felt? As someone who appreciates artists who can be genuine and honest in their music, Chris Brown can be extremely frustrating to me. However, even I won't deny a heartfelt performance when I hear one. And say what you will about Chris Brown's relationships with women, there's clearly one young lady in his life who he definitely cares about.
Wake me up before you go. Ooh, I need a little more, just a little more of your love.
Okay, first, this is not the best produced song out there. With the choppy mix, the heavy reliance on autotune, and the skittering hi-hats, but at least the pianos managed to level it all out. And here's a fun fact I'll admit, the first time I heard this song, I couldn't stand it.
Oh, I need a jump start. When you call me, I'm running to you.
This was the closing track to Chris Brown's album Royalty, named after his daughter of the same name. And it's the only track on the entire album directed at said daughter. Which is a little confusing when he spends the entire album slagging off women using the you pronoun, and to suddenly have that you be his own little girl.
Ooh, girl, when you lay in my arms, I'll take it into the moment.
But again, while it is not the best written song out there, it takes you way too long to realize who he's talking to without the context of the video. The genuine love and emotion in this track does make up for a lot.
I hold on with all my might while you look in me in my eye.
This may not be his best song, but it is his most emotionally genuine one. And yeah, that does count for a lot for me.
A little more of your love.
Again, not the best song out there, not even from that album, but generally one we can all agree is him at his sweetest and most human. Nice job, Chris. I genuinely hope Royalty doesn't get beaten up too much for having a name like that, and, you know, for having you as a dad. Now, heartfelt emotional songs are great and all, but fuck that, let's dance!
Hold your glasses up, people everywhere. Now everybody put your hands in the air. Say, yeah, girl, I wanna,
I know, it's generic, but it's just fun. And while it is just a basic club track, it characterized my party days so much that I'm not willing to let go of it just yet.
move your body out on the floor. Put your troubles aside, start living.
It actually took me years to even find out that this was a Chris Brown song, and boy was I in for a shock when I found out. But try as I might, I could not hate this. It's way too fun and upbeat.
Baby, we're going somewhere you never been before. So take my hand and come with me.
Definitely not a smart song, but also not the type of song that needs to be. You're just meant to jam and groove out to it, and by those standards, it definitely works for me.
Now everybody put your hands in the air, say, yeah.
Damn great track. Although if you want a better example of everything I just mentioned,
She doesn't call before midnight, if at all.
you know, at the end of the day, Yeah is pretty bare bones lyrically. So naturally, adding a little bit more dimension to it by writing about a girl who's distant towards Chris Brown in public, but treats him like a man when they're finally alone together, which he has no problem with, that I can definitely appreciate.
She only loves me when the lights are out, lights are out. She only loves me when the sun is down, sun is down.
Not only does this song have a great pre-chorus, but the drop is actually pretty good too. A much more textured tropical house drop than I've come to expect from a lot of mainstream pop.
That is fine by me.
It would be so easy for Chris Brown to act bitter on this track, and even he admits that he'd prefer it if she acknowledged him while they were in public. And yet, behind closed doors, they're so close that by the end of the day, he doesn't mind. And yeah, that's kind of understandable.
She knows I can take her there. Afterwards, she just don't care.
It's a song all about the head rush of a secret relationship with all the excitement and the production to match it. Definitely one of the best driving grooves of his career and easily one of my favorites.
That is fine by me. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know. Let me see if you can run it, girl. Indeed, I can run it, run it.
You know, time and time again across this man's career, I have been surprised at how enjoyable I've found his music. I mean, it's not smart, and many critics have rightfully torn it apart, but there is a part of me that just really gravitates towards it. And in case you hadn't guessed yet, no, I'm not talking about Chris Brown here.
But for now, forget about that. Blow the whistle, baby, you the referee.
You put it down like New York City. I never sleep while like Los Angeles. I'm fantasy.
Like I said before, a lot of Chris Brown's best songs aren't even his. And for some reason, whenever he's worked with Pitbull, the result has always been genuinely great music. No matter how little sense that may make on paper.
I don't play football, but I've touched down everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. I don't play baseball, but I've hit a home run everywhere, everywhere.
Pitbull is great here, basically showing his love for all the countries he's visited and the fact that he's been accepted everywhere he's been. It makes sense, he is known as Mr. Worldwide after all. And he does it all with an easy charisma that is so infectious.
Down in DR, they looking for visas. I ain't talking credit cards, if you know what I mean. Here in Cuba, la cosa está dura, but the women get down, if you know what I mean.
But I'd be remiss not to mention Chris Brown's contributions too, because he has rarely sounded better than he does on this hook.
You put it down like New York City. I never sleep while like Los Angeles. I'm fantasy.
He associates these women with the traits of certain major cities, and it ends up working surprisingly well. Not to mention being incredibly catchy, and that charm also carries across to the bridge.
There's not a place that your love don't affect me, baby.
You can expect me to talk about this again in future, but for now, suffice to say, it's an anthem to international love that we can all relate to.
International
Surrounded by beautiful girls.
International love. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know. Let me see if you can run it, girl. Indeed, I can run it, run it.
This is the best intro to a music video that I have ever seen from Chris Brown.
What you mean he was grabbing on her like he knew you? Does he know you?
No, he doesn't know me.
I did. So Lil!
Bro, I had the worst 2 nights of my life, bro. Like,
I mean, look at him, the aggression, the tantrum, it just feels so effortless. Oh, and the song's pretty great too.
You know I got the homies parked right outside. I'm in the blood red level, you know what up I got the killers and the bitches that be ready to ride. They love it, picture me rolling. 6 4 sitting on trays, picture me rolling.
I know I already talked about him when I mentioned Hotel, but do you guys remember Kid Ink?
You know what the time is, go ahead and picture me rolling.
Yeah, he and Chris Brown used to be good friends for a while back in the day. Then Kid Ink experienced a drop off in popularity and suddenly disappeared off the face of the earth. But anyway, he actually released this song a couple of years before Chris Brown, meaning, yes, this is basically stolen. Okay, yeah, it's a little different, but they're still pretty damn similar. However, personally, I've always preferred Chris Brown's version. Something about that bass line really does get under my skin, and the slight vocal effect on Chris's vocals really do add to that inebriated effect. Plus, it has an absolutely killer pre-chorus.
On the west side, trying to feel the breeze. On the mission, trying to fuck with OHB. Said she fell in love with the G&B. She love it.
That is impressive, and when the chorus does hit, it works way better than it really should, especially considering that nasal synth tone. This is the type of song that you could see me playing while out on the town. It's a great song to set the mood for a night of partying. And if even I can admit that and crank this out in public, then it's definitely worth a mention.
Top down, right round, nigga, who are you? I got ups, bitch, what can Brown do for you? Bitch, hey. Rolling. Is it man on the floor? If he ain't, then let me know. Let me see if you can run it. Girl, indeed, I can run it.
So yeah, Picture Me Rollin' is an unexpectedly great song to get turned up to, I can admit to that. But what about the anthem once you actually reach the party? What if you're not in the mood for Yeah 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 or Fine By Me? What if instead you want something blissful and chilled out? Even if it does come with one more pedophile that I'm comfortable with.
You can tell by the way I walk that I got 'em. Yeah, any girl that I wanna. Got bitches and marijuana.
Remember Tyga?
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
Yeah, unlike Kid Ink, there's a good reason you don't see this guy around anymore. Apart from this little gem where he absolutely butchers a great sample to justify fucking an underage girl, he was quite possibly one of the least deserving famous people ever to see success. And in 2015, he and Chris Brown teamed up together to release an album. It sucked.
All my bitches got real hair, chillin' with the top down, screaming like, hey.
I still have a fair bit of hate left over for that project, and going back to it, it has not aged well. But both back then and now today, this remains my favorite song on the project by far. It hits that perfect sweet spot between blissfully chilled out and quietly threatening that is perfect for this type of song. With all of our performers faring pretty well on their verses and especially that incredibly sticky hook. Yeah, it's blatant vapid flexing, but they pull it off really well, and again, it's very catchy.
She wanna ride with me, kick it and vibe with me. I got that long clip, fall asleep to the movie. Loud pack, give me all of that. Don't be sending naked pics cause my phone tapped.
And then in comes Groovy Tony.
Young nigga, 100 grand for the green. Damn, hit the curb with the Benz. Rolly do no ticky, do the blinky. I'm spending hundreds or the 50s. Word around the city, I'm that nigga, but this month I made a million.
I am sincerely sorry that Schoolboy Q had to lower himself to the level of these two, but he still kills his verse, easily outclassing the other two bar for bar and in terms of flow. Seriously, what a feature killer.
Yeah, any girl that I wanna. Got bitches and marijuana. I got 'em.
Easily the best song Tyga has ever made, one of Chris Brown's best, and even by the standards of Schoolboy Q, pretty damn sweet. Okay, Chris, this is going to sound a little bit odd, but did you have to make the actress in this music video Asian?
When you're mine, I'll be generous. You're irreplaceable.
Okay, putting that aside, this is still just a fantastic rip-off of MJ. Probably the best example of that throughout Chris Brown's entire discography. He has blatantly stated in the past just what an effect Michael had on his music, and here he fulfills that potential perfectly.
Baby, does he do it for you? When he's finished, does he step back and adore you?
The bass guitar here is just wonderful, and the way it meets the strings on that chorus is phenomenal, as it all sounds so elegant while still remaining tight and sharp. On top of that, both the lyrics and Chris's vocals are pretty fantastic. A love song where he sweeps this girl off of her feet and assures her that she's like fine china.
And the saying goes, life is just a game, but I'm not playing.
Heck, my only real problems are this line.
It's alright, I'm not dangerous.
Yeah, right. And the fact that some of the ad-libs are a little bit too MJ for my liking. Okay, trying a little bit too hard there, Chris. Still, the groove, the bright instrumental, and the wonderful hook make up for that in spades. Nice job, Chris. Stick to this instead of your other attempts to commemorate MJ. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. You guys probably all expected this to be my number one. I can see why. I already talked about this song at length in my Best Hits of 2008 video, but again, it's an absolutely fantastic pop song and probably the most likable Chris Brown has ever been on or off the record.
I'ma take you there, I'ma take you there, so don't be scared, I'm right here, baby.
Unlike other songs on this list, there's no flexing or boyish elation here. Just a genuine love and care for someone you're dancing with, promising to catch them if they fall. And of course, to dance with them forever and ever.
It's like I waited my whole life.
An easy standout for Chris Brown, and there's a damn good reason that even his haters like me remember this as one of his best. Well done, man. You earned this. However, not quite your best work, but first... These guys are clearly out of ideas. That's nothing new. Still, at least they're consistent with their releases, unlike some of us. But I regularly disagree with them, especially when it comes to their musical picks. I mean, yeah, I know that they technically work off the majority opinion, but there are definitely some biases that sneak in there. For instance...
Number 7. Fun. Pitbull featuring Chris Brown.
No!
Somewhere we can go where no one else can find. Loosen everybody, baby, come undone. Loosen everybody, baby, come undone.
2015 was a great year for music, there's no doubt about it, but even so, there were some songs that didn't get enough love. Of course, there was this.
I got bills.
And this.
Everybody wanna cut the legs off.
And believe it or not, I would put Fun up there too. It's basically just a dumb summer anthem that most of us would never even give a second thought to.
Wanna have fun for a night? Then just
Like I said before, Chris Brown and Pitbull is a mix that shouldn't work, but does for some reason. The short reason why I unironically love this song is summarized pretty simply by the title. It's just an incredibly fun and upbeat song with one of the best hooks and drops that we heard on the radio this decade.
Don't be shy. I just wanna live tonight. Fun.
It's just so bright and happy with the production to match. And oddly enough, I'd argue that Pitbull's verses are worse than they were on International Love.
I know you think it's just rap, just this, just that. Right, nah baby, this my life.
I mean, it's not smart by any means, but it only serves to add to the buckets of charm that this song has. It's just the right blend of stupid and enjoyable that normally only occurs with Jason Derulo. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that it's easily one of the best songs of both men's careers.
I wanna, let's go to the crib. And if you want, you can bring your friends and we can fun.
I'm sure that many of you will disagree with this pick in particular, but hey, it's just my opinion. Great song, one that does not get enough credit. As for what beat it though... So here is a simple fact. Chris Brown is not a good person. Putting aside your feelings for his music, he has said and done some genuinely reprehensible and hateful things that he has not adequately apologized for. However, a lot of his music tends to show him as an absolute saint. And while, yes, even I am clearly susceptible to this, as proved by this video, at the end of the day, I need genuine honesty from my favorite music. And so, obviously, one of my favorite Chris Brown songs had to be a moment where he is intentionally framed negatively. And I'm not gonna lie, even if it wasn't done by him, it would probably still be one of my favorite songs of that year. Period.
And the truth is hard to find. So I'll be drunk texting you. Drunk texting you. Yeah, baby.
That's right, I am not kidding. The first time that I heard this, I was absolutely blown away. The wonderful wordplay between our two vocalists, the ominous, watery production, and of course the subject matter all left me lost for words. And over the years, that has not changed.
Got me feeling some type of way, told you I hate you, I don't mean it. And the only thing that I got it's the pain that you've been feeding.
At some point, we've all been in a position where we're about to text someone we like, and as many of you will know, doing it while drunk is a terrible idea. Especially when said person is your ex. And boy oh boy does Chris sketch that out vividly.
Faded, all because of you. In my current situation, trying not to think of you, not to break the rules. But it always happens when I get this way, just can't stop myself.
He perfectly shows off the mixed emotions involved and the fact that it is a terrible idea. He even goes into how he'll feel if she doesn't reply, or how best to hide the fact that he's drunk while texting, all of which is extremely relatable and human.
Looking at my phone thinking, am I gonna hit send tonight? It's gonna be one of them mornings when I wake up and regret it if I don't get no reply.
The sentiment of this song is pathetic, and he clearly knows it. He's not meant to be sympathetic. Even the final lines are subverted by the fact that you're not supposed to like this unlikable wreck.
If I change, you're laying next to someone else right now. Girl, I hope it's the worst sex ever. Yeah. Hope it's the worst sex ever.
That more than anything seals the fact that nothing good will come of this and that he is bound to regret it in the morning. And that this liquid courage, as he puts it, is not going to pay off.
I done spent 1, 2, 3 a.m. thinking about you. Don't wanna be without you, 'cause I'm on that liquid courage. I hope this shit is worth it, 'cause if it ain't, then it's all bad.
This is by far the most well-written and honest song of Chris Brown's career. And even though some of you may disagree, for me, it's by far his best. So great job, Chris, and I will never say those words again.
So I'll be drunk texting you.
So So, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you once again for 1,000 subs. I hope that you appreciate the sacrifice that I made for you. Now I'm off to take a cold shower and listen to Freaky Friday again so the world can be put right. Don't worry, you'll be getting your monthly top 10 list very soon. This was just a bonus video for you guys to say thanks. In the meantime, thank you all again, and please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is the Social Tunes signing off.
So I'll be drunk texting you. Drunk texting you. Yeah, baby, I'll be drunk texting